Welcome back, friends. Let's create an event countdown timer today. In this project, we will learn to use background image in CSS and also use jQuery instead of plain JavaScript. Follow me and hit that like button before starting. As usual, I'll start with basic HTML template. Then change its title to fit the name of our project, that is, Event Countdown Timer. After that, start working on the body part. I'll start by writing a div element with class name countdown container. This section will hold all of the contents of our timer app. Add a h1 tag inside this div element. It will hold the visible heading of our event countdown timer app. Below the h1, create another div element with class name and id as countdown. This div will then contain 8 span elements, 4 for the values and other 4 for their labels. Start by writing the value span tags and give each of them a unique ID. I will put their respective names like days, minutes, hours, and seconds as ID. It is a good way to identify their difference. Initially, you can leave the value blank or use 0 as I did, either way is fine. Next, for the label span, I'll use ID IDF. It is easy for me to remember IDF short for identifier, although better name will be label. Choose proper name for class and ID, keep it easy for everyone to understand. Put the static values in the IDF span, use days, hours, min for minutes, sec for seconds. Let's focus on the CSS after finishing the HTML part. As obvious, I will start with body tag, and this time we will give it a background image. I am using a Christmas decoration image from Unsplash, credits to the Artboard Studio. Check out the image and feel free to change it according to your event. We can also make it dynamic according to coming events. Comment below if you want the dynamic event countdown timer. The background image CSS property requires an URL. So you can either give it a local path or the image URL from Unsplash, both works fine. But keep in mind external image may be removed, or without proper connection you may see blank screen. Also make background position center and background size as cover to better fit the image and screen. Next, give 100 VH as height to the body and then set display grid. The content should be center, so justify and align accordingly. After that, make margin 0, give a matching color to the font. Our today's theme is Christmas, so a shade of red fits best with the background image. After this, set the text shadow property. I'll also set a font family that suits this project. Impact is a sans serif compact font, maybe it will look good here. In big projects, you must do this separately for each class selectors, but here this is fine. Now, set the text shadow property. I'll give top white and bottom black blurred shadow to the text in the screen. See the code carefully. Let's make the H1 little bigger than other text. I think 2.2 rem is enough to make it big and bold. Style the countdown container class after the H1. This will become the main holding container for our project content. So let's start by making text align center. give 5-pixel solid reddish border with 10-pixel radius curve. Now set 20-pixel padding to give enough blank space around the content. After that, I will set dual box shadow for this container. First, use a 20-pixel outward semi-transparent red shadow and follow it by 10 pixels of solid black backdrop. Follow carefully to understand the effect. End the style with 30% semi-transparent reddish background color. This will give a fused look to this container. Now, style the countdown class. Start by setting a 2rem font size. Fine-tune the font size and maybe the font family according to your project requirements. Then set 20-pixel bottom margin for proper spacing. See the margin in effect. End it with a display of inline block. Also add style to countdown span, set display inline block. Opacity 1 and add transition of the opacity by 0.5 second ease in out for smooth effect. I have also made a hidden class which takes opacity 0. It will be used to hide and change the digits smoothly. Next, style the IDF class or the label class if you have named it accordingly. It will take small 14-pixel font size. Then set its position as relative to the countdown container, that is the parent element. Next, give it a top position of 25 pixels and right position of 35 or 30 pixels to fit it just below each digits properly. Finally, take a dive into the JavaScript section. Today we will use jQuery for function coding. So start by adding the reference link, that is the script to work with jQuery. I'm using version 3.6.4. Although you may use any version, the latest version is always best in performance. Create another script tag below it, and start writing our custom functions. Start with set the countdown date constant to December 25th. 2024 for Christmas reminder. Then reference countdown ID inside countdown element constant. We will need an update countdown function. For a change, let's do it differently. Create a constant and assign it an arrow function that contains the body of the update countdown function. Assign a now constant to the current time using date class and its methods. Then store the difference of countdown date and now time in another constant. After this, calculate the days, hours, minutes, and second from this difference. Look carefully, I have used division by converting the milliseconds in seconds, then minutes, hours, and then days. Later I'll use combination of modulus to find the remainder, then divide to absolute the value. The entire division may result decimal values, so don't forget to floor down the numbers as integers. This is the most important calculation for our app. That's why, pay attention and observe the numerals and parentheses carefully. Don't miss the closing tags. We now have to update the digits to their respective span and countdown container. I'll write a function for this purpose. Name the function update digits and it will take two parameters. First is the ID to identify the span and second is the value. Let's continue. And the update countdown function with an if check for difference. If difference is less than 0, then clear the interval which we haven't yet set. Also set expired as the HTML or text value to the countdown element. Follow along by writing the body of update digits function. Again, I'll use the array function technique. It will have two parameter, ID and value. Start by saving reference to the span with ID and parse its text value in another constant called current digit. If current digit is not equal to the value we fed in function call, then add a class, hidden, to the current element. Use setInterval method to loop in every 0.5 seconds and change the text value of current element to the value received in the function call. Also remove the hidden class inside this setInterval function call. End the script section with final two lines of code. First, we will assign the countdown interval constant to a set interval value that calculate from our update countdown function in every 1000 milliseconds. Then simply call the update countdown function for first time to start the timer on page load. Look the NaN error in display. Unfortunately, I forget to add parentheses in the now constant. Here the code must have the date.getTime and opening and closing parentheses. I have also missed to add the getTime method in the countdown date constant. Also fix some parentheses in the calculation part. That's it, our event countdown timer is ready. Don't forget to fix the missing span style in CSS for smooth transition effect. This is one of the simplest yet pretty elegant way to represent an event countdown timer. You can change the image to a birthday theme and add some message to the top, bottom or anywhere, and it will become a birthday countdown timer and cool invitation for all your friends. Similarly, you can add a wedding theme image for wedding timer. Also add some flowers and animation, and that's all. Be creative and share your project in the comment. At last, give a thorough look in the code from CSS to HTML and JavaScript. debug the working and fine-tune until it fits your project style. My Christmas theme countdown timer is ready now. You can view it live, the link is given in the description. Meanwhile, give this video a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe. Let me know if my work is helpful for you. Thanks for watching TechnoSpace.